think all my life I've heard this little phrase that it's the little things that count. You probably heard it all your life too, probably. I don't think I ever have believed it. And maybe I'm not sure anybody really believes it, because, you know, when we think about our lives, what do we remember? The big things. We remember the big awards, or the big failures, or our 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th, 90th birthdays, the kind of big things that happen. But I've just been thinking, like, what is a life anyway? You know, it's a continuity of moments of mind in relationship with a particular form that is a body. That's just those moments, moment by moment by moment. And when it's all bound together, those two, by karma and habit, and when the karma runs out, the continuity just keeps going. So this thing about the small things has kind of been up in my mind. So this weekend when I was in Seattle, I had the chance to visit an old friend for a couple hours, and I was so touched by the experience that it made me think about the little things. So my friend's kindness, not just to me, which was lovely. I mean, she was very generous, she offered food, it was nice to see her. But while I was there, my friend was also quite engaged with her neighbor. The short story is that the neighbor has been really struggling with addiction, and on the basis of a relative's strong urging, this neighbor had decided to seek treatment and was at that moment looking around for some place to go. I mean, she was really taking a very strong, courageous internal step, but she had this big obstacle, and that is she has a dog. So who's going to take care of my dog? Well, my friend had volunteered to do that. That is not a small thing. That's actually a big thing, I think, to out of kindness and concern for a neighbor whom, I think she hardly knows, but willing to support that person by taking on her dog. And then the thing that I found so touching too is before we went upstairs, she just had this impulse to fill a bowl with soup and pull together a bunch of fruits and just take up food for this person too, who she knew was probably not going to eat otherwise unless somebody was really helping her to do that. It was such a spontaneous gesture, and it was like something you could really rejoice in someone's kindness, in someone's wish to help somebody else. That's the kind of small thing that I'm thinking about. And it just made me think, how many times a day do we have the opportunity to do something small, kind? And mostly, I would say, don't even notice it. I would say my friend probably, who's probably watching, probably wasn't aware of the how big that small impulse was in terms of the benefit for others. So this just leads me to the thought about how much rejoicing is important in our practice. You know, to be able to recognize, to have the mindfulness that's aware when we have those kinds of impulses, or in the case perhaps of the dog, or metaphorically for ourselves, when we extend ourselves to do something that's big, to also notice, be aware of it, and take a moment and rejoice in it. To really, to rejoice in the opportunity to create virtue. And if it's not us ourselves, to rejoice in other people's practice of virtue. To see the kindness of human beings, to add it to our store of proof to ourselves that sentient beings are basically kind. And then, if we can have further awareness, to think, and I'm going to dedicate this virtuous action for my own awakening so that I can really benefit all sentient beings, then those little small moments of kindness become really huge in terms of their potential result. So, you know, in thinking about this, what are these little steps? What are these little steps that we can do? What is a life? Small moments. And as Venerable Children often quotes to us from Zopa Rinpoche, everything exists on the tip of a wish. If we wish our wish to be one of kindness and benefit, the more we can train our minds to go there, to respond in that spontaneous kind way or a premeditated kind way, to rejoice in that very action, and then to dedicate it. Boy, we're accumulating a lot of small moments that will be of great benefit. So We have so many chances in the day, and I know I sleep through them. I don't know about you, but it's a reminder, a call to me to really celebrate those small moments. So I may have to reconsider this. It's the little things that count, because it's the little things that add up. That's the truth. It's the little things that add up.